If you're not making $10,000 overnight in your sleep within your first month of attempting digital marketing or affiliate marketing, you did not fail, okay? What happened is the person you were misled by failed you, right? Now, what exactly am I talking about here? I'm talking about beginners, people who are just getting started with digital marketing or affiliate marketing, creating their own products and selling them as the product owners or selling other people's products, digital products as affiliates, right? They have often have these lofty expectations, right? They have the wrong expectations, okay? And this is the result of having seen all kinds of crazy things online, whether it's some people who are actually, making these, astronomical numbers, right, that have actually worked for it over time, an extended period of time, or whether it's people that they've seen that are just lying out of their teeth, just that will say anything to make a sale, right? That's the thing. And I've been spending a lot of time on threads, right? I've been talking to you guys recently about the opportunity that exists on threads, and I see it all the time in the conversations, the kind of things that people are talking about. I'll see beginners who are just getting started, right? And they are almost bummed out by the fact that they've been doing digital marketing, work, so to speak, right? Putting in the effort for, they're like 5 days in, 10 days in, and they're like, they haven't made a sale yet. Like they're actually surprised or bothered by the fact that they have not yet made a sale within their first 10 days, And it's like where are they getting this, right? Or where's all this coming from? And I suppose, right? It's probably going to be from the anomalies, right? Because most people getting started, they're not going to be seeing results that quickly, okay? Most people getting started are not going to be seeing results that quickly. However, the few, the ones in the minority that actually do, they're the ones that tend to make the loudest noise, right? They're the ones that tend to stand out. And so everybody else, the other, people who have no clue what's going on, and they see all this stuff and they feel like that's the norm and they expect the same thing for themselves, right? It's also part of the reason why a lot of people who see this stuff, they may think it's a scam, right? Because you think about it, right? Like who makes the kind of numbers, right? The kind of money that some people are actually making online can be mind-boggling for the person who is not used to seeing that kind of stuff, right? Especially when you think about the fact that your regular or typical 9 to 5 job, you don't even make that kind of money on average, right? In a year, right? The kind of money that people take a whole year to make in their regular everyday 9 to 5 jobs, some people are making that in a month online, right? In a couple weeks. And on the surface, if you've not been around this stuff, you're gonna think one of two things: either it's a scam or it's not real, or you're gonna have the wrong expectations for when you eventually decide to jump on board. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind. Now, like I did mention earlier, I have been on threads recently, right? And actually, I started a while back, but I really just was just dabbling and playing around with it. It's not until recently, right? It's not until I want to say like the pre less than it's been about a week, right? Or maybe a couple weeks that I've actually started taking it seriously, right? And thanks to this course as well that I purchased, which you can get access yourself. It's going to be the first link in the description below this video. And it shows, it's basically going to make your learning curve a lot less steep, right? Showing you the right strategies to follow, the right things to do to help you grow faster, quicker, and then also monetize, right? And when I say monetize, I'm not talking about like the Threads bonus program or anything like that. I'm talking about you generating sales through your own efforts selling whatever it is that you want to sell, whether it's physical products, digital products, right? Books, whatever the case may be, right? Selling your own products as a product owner or selling other people's products as an affiliate, right? It shows you how to go about building an audience in whatever niche it is that you want to get into, and and how to monetize, how to make money selling products in that niche. Okay, so if you're interested, go ahead, check it down below. Like I mentioned before, Threads now is like what TikTok used to be back in like around 2020, like the early days of TikTok, where people were growing at rapid rates, easily going viral and all that type stuff, generating tons of sales and all that. Well, you've got something similar to that going on TikTok right now. I'm not on TikTok, on Threads. Okay, now I'm not saying that if you just jump on Threads right away, you're just easily gonna start seeing wild success, right? I'm not saying that, right? However, it is a lot easier right now to grow on Threads and monetize and generate sales on Threads than it is on most of the other more well established social media platforms that have been around for longer, more people are familiar with and more aware of. So there's a lot more competition on those platforms, right? Threads right now is kind of underground, under the table. Not as many people are paying attention to it. It's kind of like the wild, wild west there, almost in essence, with regards to what you're able to do in terms of promoting your products. You can, you can direct link your stuff and put, affiliate links or your own website links or whatever it is that you want to put directly into the various threads, right? So people are on there right now capitalizing, making as much money as they possibly can, right? And this all comes down to effort. And what you need to understand, right? What I'm trying to get you to understand is that if you decide to go after any of this, right, do not for 1 second think that it's the sort of thing that you're going to be able to jump on and within a matter of, it's not impossible, of course you can make sales within a matter of days, whatever the case may be, but don't expect that, right? What I always tell people is, if you want to take this stuff seriously, I would encourage you to well, it's more than just taking things seriously. If you want to have, like, set the right expectations, I would encourage you to have the mindset of going into this with the mindset that you're going to consistently do a ton of work, right? Or put in the work on a daily basis for at least 3 months before, I'm doing this every day for 90 days, right? 90 days straight, right? Before you can start getting to the point where you can, start complaining about, oh, you've done this, done that, and nothing's really happening, right? If you do that for 90 days, I'm gonna have a hard time. It's gonna be difficult to not at least, have some kind of significant success, whether it's growth wise or sales wise, whatever the case may be, right? But that is just, don't, if you get anything, and I'm not saying that you can't get anything before 90 days, you very well can, right? But consider it a bonus. But if you have the mindset of knowing that you're going to put in all this work for an extended period of time with nothing in return, right, you're already winning, right? When it comes to the mindset, okay? You're already going to be winning. And believe it or not, as long as you're putting in that work every day for those 90 days, stuff is brewing underneath, underground. Stuff is happening in the back, in the scene, like behind the scenes. And once it finally comes up, once it finally erupts, you're going to be glad that you kept on working and you stayed committed to the process. You kept the faith and you just kept on putting in the work. That's just the nature of when organic traffic on social media platforms and all that type of stuff. If you want instant immediate results, you got to resort to paid advertising. Okay, that's just the way that goes. And of course, with paid advertising, there's a ton of skills, a ton of learning that happens, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose your shirt. Okay, So I would highly encourage you to go the organic route first, see what's, understand how the platforms work, get a feel for what works, and then now if you want to supercharge your results and efforts, then that would be the time to get into paid ads when you have a better idea of how things are going. Okay? So, like I mentioned, if you want to go ahead and get started with threads like I have, I've been doing that in the background now for the past almost a couple weeks now, alongside with these YouTube videos that I'm doing. Go ahead and check out that first link in the description below this video. It will give you access to, the same training that I'm using, that I'm taking, that has helped me grow my Threads account. Like I mentioned earlier, I know it's only going to be probably within a month or two, right? I'm pretty sure within 2 months, I'm gonna blow out, like way surpass how many followers or subscribers that I have here on YouTube with what I'm doing on Threads. So it's interesting times, but as long as I keep on putting in the work, I'm expecting good things from that. All right. I mean, I've already started to see some. I've already started to see some traction. So, but anyway, questions, comments, suggestions, put them down below, and I will catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Ciao.